Hey everyone, welcome back to my UGC NET Criminology lecture series. Today's topic is extremely important because this theory is asked again and again in exams, and at the same time it is also connected with real life policing and crime control. Today we are going to understand the famous modern criminological theory called the broken windows theory. We will understand who gave this theory, what exactly it says, why it became so popular in policing, Indian examples and case studies related to it, criticisms of the theory, and finally whether this theory actually works in society or not. So stay with me till the end, because after this video you will be able to write a very strong answer in UGC NET exams as well as in your university examinations. Imagine you are walking through different streets. One street is very clean, peaceful and well maintained. The walls are painted properly, street lights are working and people are following rules. Now imagine another street where windows are broken, garbage is lying here and there, walls are full of graffiti, street lights are damaged and nobody seems to care about the surroundings. Now think carefully, in which area do you feel crime is more likely to happen? Most people will naturally say the second area, and this simple observation became the foundation of the broken windows theory. The broken windows theory was proposed in 1982 by two scholars named James Q. Wilson and George L. Kelly. They explained this theory in an article published in the Atlantic Monthly. According to them, small signs of disorder in society can slowly lead to bigger crimes if they are ignored for a long time. The name broken windows itself is symbolic. Suppose a building has one broken window and nobody repairs it. Slowly people start believing that nobody cares about that building. Then another window gets broken, and after that graffiti appears on the walls, garbage starts collecting nearby. Gradually the area begins attracting antisocial behavior, theft, drug use, violence and more serious crimes. So the main idea of the theory is very simple. If minor disorder and small rule breaking behavior are ignored, they can create an environment that encourages serious crime. This theory mainly focuses on social disorder, fear, and community neglect. According to the theory, crime does not suddenly appear from nowhere. It develops slowly in places where disorder is allowed to grow. One important thing you should remember for exam is that broken windows theory does not only talk about physical disorder like broken buildings or garbage, it also talks about social disorder. Social disorder includes public drinking, street fights, aggressive begging, public drug use, loud disturbances, vandalism, and groups creating fear in society. When these things become common, people start feeling unsafe. Good citizens slowly avoid those areas and criminals become more confident. This theory became extremely famous during the 1990s, especially in the New York City policing. Police authorities believed that if they strictly control small offenses, then major crimes could also reduce. This approach later became known as zero tolerance policing. Now many students preparing for UGC NET become confused here. They ask, how can small offenses lead to major crime? Let us understand this psychologically. When people repeatedly see disorder around them, they slowly feel that rules are weak and nobody is serious about law enforcement. This reduces social control. Criminals start believing they can escape punishment. At the same time, ordinary citizens lose confidence in society and policing. This creates a dangerous environment where crime can grow easily. So remember this line for your exam. Broken windows theory connects disorder with the fear of crime and the growth of criminal behavior. Now let us understand this theory through a simple example. Suppose in a locality, some young boys start writing graffiti on walls. Nobody stops them. After some days, people begin throwing garbage openly. Street lights stop working, but authorities ignore it. Small thefts start happening. Residents stop coming out at night because they feel unsafe. Shops close early. Slowly, gangs begin gathering there because they realize the area lacks social control. Eventually, serious crimes like robbery, assault, or drug trafficking may start increasing. This is exactly what broken windows theory explains. Now, let us move towards Indian examples and case studies because in UGC NET exams, Indian connections always make your answers stronger. One example often discussed in relation to broken windows theory is the condition of some urban slum areas where public disorder remains unchecked for long periods. In some crowded areas of big cities like Delhi, Mumbai, or Kolkata, authorities sometimes ignore illegal encroachments, vandalism, substance abuse, gambling spots, or public nuisance activities. Over time, these places may become hotspots for theft, gang activities, or violent crime because disorder creates opportunities for offenders. Another important example is related to railway stations and public transport areas. In places where ticketless travel, public harassment, vandalism, spitting, illegal vendors, and aggressive behavior are ignored continuously, the environment slowly becomes unsafe. Passengers begin fearing crime, especially women and elderly citizens. This reflects the broken windows idea that visible disorder increases fear and weakens social control. Now let us discuss a famous international case connected to this theory because this is highly important for exams. During the 1990s, in New York City, Police Commissioner William Bratton introduced aggressive policing against minor offenses such as fare evasion in metro trains, graffiti, vandalism, and public disorder. Authorities believed that strict action against small offenses would prevent bigger crimes. During that period, crime rates in New York reduced significantly, and supporters of the theory claim that broken windows policing was successful. For example, police targeted people jumping subway gates without tickets. Many of these offenders were later found carrying illegal weapons or having criminal records. This strengthened the belief that controlling small violations can help identify serious offenders early. However, students should also remember that many experts argue crime reduction in New York was not only because of broken windows policing. Other factors like economic improvement, demographic changes, better technology, and increased police force also played important roles. And this is very important because in UGC NET exams, balanced answers get better marks. Do not write only advantages, also include criticisms too. Now let us deeply understand the main principles of broken windows theory. The first principle is that disorder sends signals. A broken window, dirty street, abandoned building, or public nuisance sends a message that nobody cares about the area. The second principle is that fear increases. When ordinary people notice disorder, they begin avoiding those places. Community participation decreases. Third principle is weakening of informal social control. Informal social control means the ability of society, neighbors, families, and communities to maintain discipline without formal punishment. Once people stop caring, criminals become more active. The fourth principle is escalation of crime. Minor disorder gradually creates conditions favorable for serious criminal activities. Now, one beautiful thing about criminology is that theories are connected with human behavior and society. So while studying these theories for UGC NET, do not simply memorize definitions. Try to understand society around you. Observe your surroundings. Observe how neglected places often create fear among people. This understanding will help you not only in exams but also in interviews and academic discussions. Now let us discuss some criticisms of broken windows theory because no criminological theory is perfect. The biggest criticism is that the theory may encourage over policing of poor communities. Critics say that Police sometimes target homeless people, street vendors, poor youth, or minority communities in the name of maintaining order. This can create discrimination and misuse of police powers. Another criticism is that theory focuses too much on symptoms rather than root causes. Broken windows theory talks about disorder, but critics argue that deeper social problems like poverty, unemployment, inequality, lack of education, and social exclusion are the real causes of crime. For example, simply removing graffiti or arresting street level offenders may not solve the larger economic and social problems that push people towards crime. A third criticism is that there is no definite proof that disorder directly causes serious crime. Some researchers say disorder and crime may simply exist together because of poverty and weak urban development. Yet another criticism is related to zero tolerance policing. In some countries, aggressive policing under broken windows theory led to unnecessary harassment, excessive stop and search actions, and tension between police and citizens. One famous controversy connected with aggressive policing was the case of Eric Garner in New York City, where strict enforcement against minor offenses raised serious debates about police behavior and human rights. Critics argued that over-enforcement can damage public trust. Now let us connect this theory with Indian society once again. In India, we often see that when public places are neglected, antisocial activities increase. Areas with poor lighting, abandoned places, damaged public property, illegal alcohol spots, and lack of community monitoring sometimes become centers for crime. Therefore, city planning, cleanliness, public maintenance, active policing, and community participation become extremely important. This is why campaigns related to cleanliness, proper street lighting, CCTV monitoring, public awareness, and community policing indirectly support the ideas behind broken windows theory. Remember one thing for UGC NET answers: broken windows theory mainly belongs to modern environmental and social control approaches in criminology. It explains how surroundings and visible disorder influence criminal behavior. Now let's conclude the topic. Broken windows theory is one of the most influential modern criminological theories because it changed the way many governments and police departments looked at crime prevention. The theory argues that ignoring small signs of disorder can slowly create an environment where serious crime grows. According to Wilson and Kelling, maintaining order in society is extremely important to prevent criminal behavior. At the same time, the theory also faces strong criticism because aggressive policing may lead to discrimination and because deeper social causes of crime cannot be ignored. So the real lesson from this theory is balance. Society should maintain order and public discipline, but law enforcement should also remain fair, humane, and socially sensitive. And for all my UGC NET aspirants watching this video, remember this: criminology is not just about theories, as I always say in my videos. It is about understanding society, human behavior, law, justice, and social problems together. The more clearly you understand these concepts, the easier your exams will become. Keep studying consistently. Even one theory every day can create a huge difference in your preparation after a few months. Believe in your preparation, stay disciplined, and success will definitely come. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, then like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more detailed criminology theories and UGC NET preparation videos.